good week. We kind of we've cast them so many times, we're kind of repeating and rinsing the same thing. Like, they've made the RMRs. This would be an insane achievement for a team that has had quite like troublesome roster changes, very similar to aTTaX, but it seems like PERA have bounced back a little bit better, and you can kind of understand why. They haven't had to replace their whole identity, but they have also moved away from their regional core, and it makes it shows us that a lot of teams are moving away from like national identity and moving to internationally. But the final best of one commences. PERA, they've secured playoffs. aTTaX, they might have, but this, if they win this, they 100% make playoffs. aTTaX starting on the T side, PERA on the CT side. It's once again Anubis, potentially do or die for the German squad.
Immediate rush towards the side, already taking control of the side. porya is down, and it's the wrap around through mid that's just going to get absolutely deleted. PERA just did not stand a chance there. Aaron tries to get one for his money, but no, it is a clean round from aTTaX.
Well, I don't want to say anything too soon, but remember when I said their one round against Guild on the C side was a pistol round? So let's see if they can, have some sort of continuity. But that was insanely decisive. Like a set play that just works perfectly. In my opinion, that is just pistol rounds in a nutshell. You hit your shots, you hit your first bullets. There's nothing the other team can do, and that's kind of what aTTaX did. So off to a really, really good start here. Up against the Eco, this is a nice time to at least give themselves a wee bit of momentum coming into this map, because I think that's going to play very nice into their hand as they've come off a loss.
Mac 10 in hand for Freeze here. Could be the exact thing that they need for tip of the spear. Well, he's positioned over towards mid, and this is a really good default. Despite being in a massively advantageous position, still playing this patiently, and that's exactly what you want to be seeing. Goody swings out, gets taken down, but it's a perfect opportunity for DGL to follow it up. Free gun handed over to PERA Esports, and honestly, this is like one of the best case scenarios for them. They don't have to get too crazy with this, but DGL is still going to push out a little bit, try and catch someone off guard. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, bombs getting planted over on A. Free and easy round for aTTaX, despite losing 2 players. Okay, you know what? They'll still win the round, but that's definitely not the way they wanted it to go.
Yeah, no, this is actually a really shocking good round from PERA. Considering they just got dumped on the pistol round, you actually see a lot of times when a pistol round gets so decisively won that they do kind of steamroll like the first few rounds, like the team that loses the pistol round just gets no kills, and like there's something they can do. And the kills might not end there, because they're going to come head to head potentially in CT. Any kill that PERA gets, because it's not mandatory they save onto any of these weapons, any kill they get is going to serve them very well, and that's amazing. A Mac 10 kill, extra $600, that's 3 frags, 1 on SMG. MSN just has a nice little, backbone of money now. It's not amazing, it's not huge, but that is a successful round for PERA, but still a win for aTTaX.
Yeah, definitely best case scenario for PERA there. Like, there's no universe in which they actually... I say there's no universe. There is one universe on the edge of all universes where they win that round. But realistically speaking, that is the best they could have hoped for. They'll be happy with that. Some serious damage done to the bonus here. aTTaX forced to have to reinvest in. And PERA now on a pretty decent by themselves. If they can secure this round off the back of this beautiful opener from DGL, this is going to cripple aTTaX economy. The snowball effect of that round, I mean, aTTaX are going to feel that.
Yeah, no, that's a really poor start. DGL, he's been impressing me a lot. Might not show on statistics, but I've definitely really enjoyed watching him play so far in this tournament. And the fact he's able to do this with a rifle is very impressive, but needs to be careful here. Great position. Seems to have gone unchecked. Freeze will walk into his crosshair, but even though it's a right IP, Freeze actually wins that out. I thought DGL had that. He should have seen him first, but I guess when you crouch, you just make yourself a little bit wider, and that comes down on his upset. And this A bomb site's looking to get targeted, but with a very close rotation from porya. As soon as Aaron takes contact here, porya can start moving in from middle, and MSN just needs to get this one kill, and that's the round 100% secured. The Mac 10 doing justice, and Goody the new academy player brought up. A very struggling fight against the MAC-10 with only 13 HP now, with the bomb on his back in a 1 versus 2. Is going to try Scarper over towards that B bomb side, but might get cut short from middle as porya comes into the rotation. And even though that round got a little bit costly, it still works out very nicely in their favor. And with the damage inflicted in the last round, the T side look quite skint.
PERA have done a good job of bringing that momentum back in their favor and slowly, like I said, creating that snowball effect. AWP is going to be in hand here for DGL. He's already done phenomenal work with the rifle so far this half, especially in securing that last round for his team. Now he's going to be in his element on his playground, and they've actually bought the hero rifle for PANIX here. Everybody force in, every last cent spent in. I say hero, there's like a little as well, so I did miss that one. Little bit of firepower to try and back it up. Gonna have to make some miracles happen here. Try to chip away at that econ. And I like the slower play here. Looking to see if PERA get aggressive. Looking to see if they make a mistake. Camion will survive there, but does a ton of tip damage. Nice! The HE to allow the re-swing. Beautiful cleanup from PerX. And the follow-up. Oh, Aaron doesn't actually get the follow-up, but a little bit of information gone, a little bit of chip damage.
Ooh, a swing and a hit actually lines them up. A lovely flashbang to support. I actually love the use of a HE grenade there over towards connector. In my pugs, that's kind of my go-to play, like throwing smokes that you can maybe one-way with, throwing a nade, getting aggressive, catching players lackadaisically, and I think going for that re-aggression as well is super strong, because sometimes after you go for that first aggression, players maybe start like walking towards your position, not anticipating them to be under fire once again, and especially with a well-placed flash if necessary, it works amazing. porya just gone unchecked. They didn't anticipate him to be so aggressive from that A bomb side, and he cleans up perfectly. Really clean round, only losing 1 player, saving, what, 2 AKs or A1S. This is a really nice rebuttal from PERA.
Had a little bit of a slow start, but they have looked so good over the last couple of days, so unsurprising to see them bounce back in such a strong fashion. Alternate attack's going to be back down onto the pistols here. Really struggling to find any sort of a footing. So this time around, looks to be a hard hit towards B, or a full commit, we rather say. Not getting too aggressive just yet. Again, waiting to see if PERA push out, waiting to see if they create an opening for alternate attacks to take advantage of, with just 1 flash to work with. He's going to have to time this perfectly. It's definitely doable to overrun the site. And there you go. Flash comes out. Doesn't connect in any sort of a meaningful way. Counter flash to come through. Tons of tip damage. PANIX will be good for 1. Will be able to rescue that weapon, but it's a spray down. And now Goody, last player left alive, will have his life taken away.
That is a round that could have got dangerous. I think the fact that porya and Aaron were just able to hold their sprays and actually connect is really valuable. Like, there's a world there where I know it was just all Glocks, but if they had maybe a Tech9 or a Deagle and were able to connect those bullets quite early onto those side players, like they did onto the player in Cave, that could have been dangerous. But nicely, it wasn't. Alternate attacks back on the rifles now. It's still very early doors, so there's no, there's no alarm bells ringing off whatsoever. But I find it quite important they have a strong T side because of how much they struggled against Guild on the CT side.
I love this map control from PERA as well. Again, porya getting so aggressive. Could easily get caught out, but if he's good for 1, could be a game changer. PerX has a suspicion. In fact, they all do. Oh, there we go. He gets the 1, instantly traded out, but that's information garnered as well. PERA now know where the hit could potentially come in from. Chip damage done onto DGL, not enough to take him out, and he's going to be forced off of that angle. But it's going to be the push over towards A. A is free. awzek? Did he just, like, dry swing that and get 2?
I don't even know if he swung or if he was holding, but I assume they lined up in some fashion, and that's actually a great round from alternate attacks. They've just chain smoked over towards Cave or Electric there, and what that did is it isolated porya completely. You could see that both DGL and Camion were trying to be in a position where they could support porya. So the whole idea is that porya isolates a kill towards water or towards rugs, and then you have the AWP giving some sort of oversight and some sort of overwatch for players players swinging from stairs. But the issue was the fact that there was a smoke being just continuously cycled for like 45 seconds towards cave, completely neglected all of that. And that's when you have to have Porya coming back. Him going 1-for-1 there was massively negative, and it just puts these two players in cave completely out of position. I don't think that's a bad play from PERA. I liked what they were doing, but maybe double pumping aggression towards canals was not their play.
Unfortunately, the dominoes fall and not in their favor this time around. I will say also getting the 2 there, definitely a big help as well. And that's what we were saying, right?
It won in the round, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And again, it's that potential aggression. I say potential. It's the aggression being a potential downfall for PERA Esports because they got killed very deep into A main. And it's what alternate attacks have been doing for quite a few of these rounds. Stalling out, chilling, waiting for PERA to get aggressive, waiting for them to create an opening in their own defensive line that alternate attacks can then take advantage of. And they've done a really good job of that. In fact, all 3 of those first kills were the same symptom that just hit them 3 times in a row.
Yeah, PERA have to start looking elsewhere apart from canals, because these just continuous cycle of smokes towards cave are definitely going to be a nuisance for them to deal with. But that's not quite lucky that MSN's got away with his life. That the kind of boxes there, you always think they're wallbangable, but they're not. And I think PANIX does very well to survive. And alternate attacks, a very nice default, maneuvering space towards A and also towards middle while maintaining Goody over towards that B bomb site. This is very nice from alternate attacks, and they'll be looking to try cut off rotations. However, if they do go towards A, that's walking into the majority of the stack.
Now we see that space being taken up towards mid. Aaron forced to pull back a bit, which could put him in a bit of a precarious position. Smoked off, but it's the entry in over towards the A side, relatively unchecked. Freeze in a great position from mid. Now DGL caught just after firing a shot, and because Freeze was in position, very quick to capitalize. And porya, last person left alive. Really solid execute from alternate attacks.
That's an insane round from Freeze. Like, that first bullet accuracy onto the pillar player wins them the round. Because if he hadn't got that first bullet kill, it basically probably would have meant he died from that player first, or it would have meant that the players actually entering onto that bomb site may have been slowed down, may have been halted, and that means DGL would have had the ability to also just focus him in middle. Also, Aaron not getting 2 there it's not easy. Like, you can't sit there and be like, oh, Aaron should have got 2 rotating in from middle. But the fact that Freeze was able just to turn on a dime like 3 times and get every single kill wins them the round. And on top of that, you have a really nice lurk from awzek. That's back-to-back rounds now that awzek has been on extremity and has caught players off guard while there has been commotion on the other side of the map. He does really well at identifying there's 2 players on the B bomb site, killing one of them and staying alive. Really, really nice unsung hero right there.
Those are our favorite kinds of heroes. It's very much what we were saying about Flare, in the previous game. Very impactful, not necessarily in the highest kill feed, but getting kills that matter. We head into this next round. Alternate attacks find themselves in the lead again. Ooh, kneecap spotted. Bit of information gone there. It's a good hold here from PANIX, and it's going to cut off a potential. Oh,
no! You can't be doing that, Goody.
Oh my god. Okay, PERA's aggression works out. Goody gets absolutely deleted. PerX not able to make it the double, but awzek is there to trade it out. 3 players will now overrun this A site. Bomb is still not where it needs to be. I was about to say if porya figures it out, he could babysit it, but no, he gets caught out from absolute range. And this should be easy. They have to hold on though. It's 2v2 on the site, and this has to be absolutely perfect. It is a trade-off. DGL, last player left alive, has managed to do a lot in this round, but Bomb has headed all the way back over towards the B site. It's a good call from
I love it.
Okay, cool, yeah. Back to A we go, boys. I love this. The mind games from alternate attacks on another level.
It's big risk. Yeah, no, that 1-for-1, the fact that DGL missed that first shot is like that's the whole round. Because I think you can see the issue was they accelerate towards the A bomb site, but they have no idea where the last two remaining players are. And I think that's orchestrated by the fact that PANIX is like flashing towards water still. Like you've got Freeze being like, I want to get the bomb, but I'm scared that someone's going to be there. I don't want to die from canals or cave. And then you get the information where the last two players are, and you're able to go 1-for-1. That's really nicely done. But DGL, is he going for this? Like, he has no kit. He has
no money.
Like, they have nothing to go for this. And yeah, he just dry swings into PANIX. I really do not get that. That's a very poor play from DGL. And I think that's what separates good and great players, of the understanding. There's like 15 seconds left from the bomb. You have no kit. What are you trying to achieve? You have no money. An AWP in this round with full utility would have so much power, but now they have nothing.
That was definitely a questionable call. Would have been nice to have that little bit of firepower in the boomstick.
It literally wins you around. Like you can, it's so, I don't know. And that A setup as well on the last round, like the smoke cutting them off. MSN's playing anti-flash and they just walk up and they get the kills and the trades. That was a ropey round for PERA, all things considered.
I love how that round's just like living rent free in your head.
I don't know. I think like aTTaX are playing really good CS right now, and I don't think PERA.
Yeah.
I think that like PERA. I really don't feel like they were ready for this. aTTaX are playing like, if this is what they were playing as like Guild must have just played insane then.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I think that they're reading really well into PERA's playstyle as they now head into the site. And, oh my god, what? No, that's not a bad read. That's just not hitting your shots, apparently. Like, oh my god, devastating. And they've lost bomb. That is potentially round with only 2 players left, one of whom has an AWP, which is not the best for a quote-unquote retake scenario. Now that they've lost bomb, that's what I'm calling it. And they're just going to hold the line here on this A main. If PERA win out this round...
No.
Okay, PANIX still good for 2, even though he had the AWP. Swaps over onto the AK. No, surely not. Takes out the pistol player. Both of them relatively low HP. Swaps back onto the AWP. Does he just back out? Does he just hold on to this? No! Shot! PANIX!
How has he done that? He's just saying alternate attacks. There's no way he should have been able to isolate that number of frags. So crisp, so sharp shooting, and he's back. I was doubting maybe his ability in this team, but goddamn, those are the plays that proves it. It never ever should have come into that affair. It never should have become a 1 versus 4, I think that was. Was that a 1 versus 4?
I think it was a 2v4 to start, and then he gets 1, and then it's a trade. Yeah.
Okay, so 1v3, 2v4. Regardless, that is sensational from PANIX. Alternate attacks, you know, it's a little bit rough. Full executing off, like, spawn, basically, with no information. You walk into a stack, and the enemies hit their shots. Unlucky. Round over. But PANIX says no. He comes in, all guns blazing, but the ability to isolate those kills, firstly, that's great from him, but secondly, very poor from PERA. There's definitely a miscommunication somewhere there. I think Camion didn't have a rifle. That's why they were maybe playing like a bait and switch when they were playing on Donut there. But that's really like, that's very unfortunate. And PERA, that would have been such a big swing round to completely change the whole dynamic of this game. But instead, alternate attack, they take a tactical pause to hoop and holler, but just go, yeah, that never should have happened, but let's take it.
I'm so glad you talked through that one, because I don't think I would have been able to articulate off the back of that round. Just unreal. And like you said, a little bit of a misplay there. A little bit. Quite a misplay from PERA. Just solo peeking 1 by 1 and allowing PANIX to do what PANIX does. Now we see PERA with a bit of an aggressive push out towards A. They've done this quite a few rounds and very often have been punished for it. See if it happens again, because again, it's just another default round from alternate attacks. I think they'll still be riding the high off of that last round, and hopefully it doesn't get them a little bit too cocky as they take that mid space. And again, it's Freeze getting all the way into such a good position. It's porya lurking all the way into the back line, as Freeze will eventually get traded out. This is still a very, very doable scenario as B has been completely cleared out. Bomb is going to get planted, and PerX is on an island.
Yeah, PerX wins on this round. They're walking straight past him. He has them in his crosshairs. That's the first. That's the second, cleaned up. Porya also, the spy in the back lines. This round's not over. He's completed his espionage successfully so far, but now he has to double down. No idea where awzek is, and the Greek god will spot him out first. That round could have really gone either way on a dime, and it's very unfortunate when Porya was coming through canals, he did not spot the gun barrel. There was like a small millisecond, and I don't think that's, like, it's not his fault. There was like a literal millisecond where I think I saw the gun barrel, but obviously we're saying that with the X-ray, so, you know, you can't really be like, oh, how did you not spot that? That's really nice from Freeze, though. He wins them the round.
I love that he just keeps doing that and just keeps getting away with it.
Great trigger discipline, right?
Yeah, beautiful. Now PERA back down onto their pistols. Very little that they should be able to do into this round. And again, they're in that situation of, well, best case, get a couple of kills, yoink a couple of guns, go next. For alternate attacks, again, still low and slow. Don't get overly aggressive. And this is clearly the sign of a team that knows they have everything to lose. They have everything to play for here. For PERA, this game isn't as important. Sure, seeding, herder. But for alternate attacks, this could mean the difference between making top 4 and being sent home. And you can see it in the way that they're playing. They've been very disciplined on the whole. And now the execute comes in towards the A site, instantly pushing PERA off of their positions. Site's free and clear. And now, an attempt at a pistol retake.
Ooh, that's actually quite a nice shot from Aaron. He's having such a good tournament. He really is, like, one of my true, like, people neglect how good he really is. And look, there's a world they win this. The issue is no kits. They only have 2 flashbangs, and that one picked up AK. That flashbang comes in maybe a little bit too early for being too effective, but Goody taking the fight to heaven changes everything. That wins them this round. I don't think there's enough time for Aaron and Porya to get onto the bomb site and do anything effective. And the hope is that Aaron can maybe try pick up a rifle that's been dropped. I think it was millimeters in front of him, but I don't think he quite picked it up, but they still were able to scarper away with their armor they have and the AK, but overall that's still a round win and furthering alternate aTTaX's lead as we enter the final round of the half. And if we take a look at the other games going on right now, Guild are up 6-4 on Anubis T side, and also on Anubis, Viperio are actually up 7-1, I think it is. Yeah, 7-1 on their T side. If Viperio win this and if Sampi lose, then, and if alternate aTTaX win this, then it's basically just a fight between Sampi and Viperio. And because Viperio have their head-to-head advantage, that could be Viperio going from 0-3 to playoffs.
Cinderella stories. We love to see them. And of course, like we said, alternate aTTaX trying to pull off their own Cinderella story here. Flash comes out instantly. DGL pushed off of his perch. And they're going to push him down. They don't clear the angle because why would someone be there? And instantly it's a double kill for PERA, completely shutting down alternate aTTaX's push into mid. They're not going to let Freeze get away with that nonsense again.
Oh no.
And now they move in towards that B side, but all of that they'd garnered, all of that advantage, instantly pulled away. Bomb gets planted. All 3 players funneling in from the same position. It's another kill for Goody as Freeze has repositioned behind the pillar, and he's going to get the next. DGL last player left alive. No sense in saving this time. It's the last round. He's got to make some magic happen here. Tries to abuse that little bit of space in the HE, but it's too deep. He's got no vision. Madly spamming through the smoke, the HE to tip him down just that little bit further. There's no hope here. And he realizes it, and that's going to be a pretty damn good half for alternate aTTaX. They will take it 9-3. Is 9-3 curse a thing in CS2? We'll find out after the break.
there's no need to go begin. I don't comprehend and I do not pretend, cause when I'm coming it's to win. You either got it or you don't. You either bought it or you won't. You either wanna give it everything or you wanna cry about a soul. I'ma say it from the jump. Mama ain't raising a chump. My mama raised me to persevere if I'm ever here in a slum.
Actual devastation there in the last round for PERA. They get a double opening kill towards middle, and then a great reaction from aTTaX to instantly tuck tail ahead towards the B bomb site with a flawless double entry, suffocates them, and just secures an even more dominant first half. Now, on this CT side, they struggled just now against Guild. Will the same replicate? The 9-3 half, is it a curse? They've got no one on this B bomb site. It's going to look like it's going to have to be a retake unless awzek goes huge.
They've already made their way in towards the site here. Bit of a spam fire just to see if they catch anything. And, well, they're playing Go Fish. And they've managed to catch a few strays. PerX will trade one. But DGL just holding it down. That is nasty. It's a fairly clean round for them off the back of some... Do you call it heroics in a pistol round?
As in...
No?
What? I was just saying that's just great from Aaron, like in middle. He gets the first kill in middle and then is able to get all the information that come in canals. And also the fact that awzek instantly dies is so huge. They get control of cave instantly. That's a really good pistol round. And just unfortunate that aTTaX gamble towards A really, and it's eco for them. Sorry, what's this heroics?
Oh, when somebody does some big plays and gets a lot of value.
Yeah, I guess
on their own.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd call that round like heroics per se, because like I felt like the round. I mean, that was just crisp right from DGL. Like he just literally beams two. Like just two players just die. Oh. Ooh, that's a jump scare and a half.
That is a jump scare. Yes, bro's literally playing Phasmophobia up in the top of mid.
He's just like, oh, okay. A Charlotte stuck outside the door. You could tell they were like weary of that as well. I think he was spamming the door and then was spamming it in a way where he was going, the bullets were going through both the doors, so it did no damage. And then he heard no ticks. And just like comes around the corner being like, oh, there's no one here. Oh, surprise.
That's honestly the stuff of nightmares.
Literally, right?
When you turn a corner and you see the entire enemy team. And sure, it's USPSs, but
oh, he got
it's
owned,
still
right?
terrifying. He did.
Dies.
I mean, he just got deleted. His teams there to back him up, of course. Anti-eco go burr.
Yeah, I guess either way, this is very different from the anti-eco. Do you remember in that first half where like it was actually quite effective? Like when it was PERA on their anti-eco, was it, right?
Yeah,
they did really well at getting like 3 kills and stuff. So a little bit different.
It was their eco,
Yeah, it was their eco. But now look at this aggression, trying to head towards the B bomb site. aTTaX trying to counter that with their own aggression. How unfortunately that does not go in their favor. 2 players fall to the grave. But as they get one, PANIX is also able to clip one off in the distance, make it a second. Now, all of a sudden, PERA, yes, they have the bomb site. Yes, the bomb's going to go down, but they're in a man disadvantage. They say that. Sorry, Aaron, where's that kill come through? It's not from the smoke. I don't know where he's got that, but putting it back into 2v2 is monumental.
There it is. A huge play from him. I was about to compliment PANIX, and unfortunately he goes down free, spots the leg, fires a few shots, instantly shut down, however. Now PerX holding the same angle, trying to catch DGL, but he is too slippery instead. PerX will go for Aaron instead, pulls out the USPS, he brings it so close, 8 HP and a dream, but DGL shuts it down.
That's the second clutch for DGL, and both times the impact cannot be understated. If Freeze had waited also just a second when he pulled the trigger, he would have had PerX in tandem, and it's so awkward when you shoot a leg there, because he kind of shoots, his aim goes a bit everywhere, and then DGL wide swings and first bullet headshots. Pika's advantage comes out in his favor there, and all of a sudden, we have this 9-3 half, that has now become 9-6 with aTTaX being on a low buy with like 5-7 in armor, and PERA being in a position where if they win one gun round, it's basically 9-9. They're on the T side, and aTTaX, we've seen they struggle today already. All of a sudden, all of their success they've built up and all of their momentum in the space of like 4 minutes, give or take, has just stopped. Next round, if they lose next round, everything changes. And look at this weird investment in this round with Freeze dropping PANIX and A1S and awzek buying loads of util.
See if the M4 can get some results here as they go for a very, very cheeky, aggressive push out of EB, attempting something similar over on A, but it's MSN who will get a nice little spray down there. At least Goody is good for one. They're gonna be able to hold on to the AK. There's not too much more that can get done here. We saw PERA do this exact same thing in the previous half, and definitely to far better results than what alternate attacks have managed to garner for themselves. Now all they can do is tuck in, wait to see if they get pushed. And yes, porya is on the hunt. Does he check? Nope! One more kill for Goody.
Okay, so it's actually really important that alternate aTTaX save these 2 weapons right now. So that like, I still don't agree with that, like, kind of A1S hero buy. Yes, you've got rounds to play with, but don't gamble those rounds. But if they do save this AK and A1S, it kind of resolves all of that, right? You have Freeze, you can drop Freeze a primary rifle, and you also have an extra primary rifle that awzek can keep to himself, as he also bought a little bit extra utility. So this round, alternate aTTaX is still in a good position. I'm pretty sure an AWP can come out. It does. So, gun round, big gun round. You've got everything. Yes, there's no AWP for DGL, but this is basically the first full buy we've had. There's no Mac 10 running in con. I'm expecting a default. If PERA win this round, all of a sudden, close game.
9-3 curse. It's the new Onyx law. Realistically.
It's just, it happens so quickly. Like, literally, like 3 minutes, right? And we're in this position.
Yeah. But I mean, both of our games have kind of been like that. Very fast, some crazy hits coming through. I suppose both matches had PERA in it, so it says a lot there. Now, a little bit of util coming through here, a little bit of chip damage, a little bit of information garnered, but nothing committed just yet. PERA trying to gather some space over towards A, but not quite making it happen. So looking to push in towards mid, maybe push up, get to double door, push in and create a split attack, but they're going to have to contend with Freeze, and Freeze has lived in mid for most of this. Unfortunately, he's been evicted. Kaiman takes him out, gets the second onto PANIX as well, and that's mid free and clear. The potential questionable molly. That was PERA's molly. He just blocked off his team. Got stuck in mid there. One player loses their life for it. Now they're trapped over in mid. They're still being able to play the smoke, but it's down to a 2v2. What was that molly?
There's a massive mistake. We've seen a little bit of utility missed already today, and now they're focusing their attention towards MSN. If these 2 players are able to isolate this kill cleanly, they can turn back towards middle, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Aaron has the ability to pick up the bomb. He has the information. He's having a great tournament. He's having a great day. He's having a great game. The issue is he might walk right into their hands, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen. He drops to his death, and a round that I don't think ever should have gone into the hands of alternate aTTaX, especially after a fabulous double entry by Camion, goes the wayside. We saw the exact same thing happen in the last map. The difference is they weren't on match point. Now they're 7-10.
You know what? If I'm PERA, I'm
fuming.
Losing it right now.
That's mental gone. That is mental completely gone.
Something so small, and it really can absolutely ruin your chances. Alternate aTTaX have hit. Yeah, 100%. To capitalize on that, to be able to play off of the smoke so perfectly, to get those kills and shut down any attempt, beautifully done from them. And again, we're seeing a lot of control being taken with utility, but some aggression here from awzek. He's been so good over on this site, on this map, but DGL will shut him down. B site is under heavy contestation as Freeze will get one but get traded out. Goody, however, good to clap back. 3 versus 3, and this is absolutely doable for alternate aTTaX with PERA relatively split up, one on flank watch and not ready to commit still.
That was insane utility usage from Goody. The fact that he was able at such a young age to beat, like, kind of just slow himself down, smoke out the choke points and Molotov, and just contain the enemies. The issue is that going to be enough? I'm very surprised that this round has formulated in the way that PERA are now in the lead. There was great B aggression, and a very whiff spray from awzek has now put overall PERA in a 3 versus 2. But the issue is, aTTaX are holding their guard. They're staying towards this B bomb site. They've read into this perfectly. Yes, Goody only has 2 HP, but up close and personal with this AK, if he's able to hold his nerve, hit the first bullet accuracy, and at least get one, which he won't, that changes everything. PerX now, will they anticipate him? That's the question, and they do. Great awareness from PERA, and the fact they came into this round with a P250 and a MAC-10 and another pistol, and they closed it out. It makes this game once again so contestable.
I mean, I love the call from PERA, right? They lose a couple of players and then they just hit the brakes. They slow down. Instead of pushing that, instead of getting overly aggressive and overly eager, they wait a moment. They give DGL a chance to see, well, what's cooking in mid? And getting that kill is instrumental in giving them the numbers advantage and being able to push out onto the site with that advantage in tow. We've closed the gap to just 2 rounds now, and PERA in a hugely advantageous position here. Anti-Eco, once again, could very easily bring this up to 9. aTTaX feeling that lead slip away through their fingers.
Yeah, and in the meantime, it's a little bit scary when you've got Viperio stampeding over Rebels, and Sampi as well potentially losing. They're down 11-6. This could be unironically playoff stripped away from aTTaX on the final day after doing what they would have thought good enough on the first day. And this low buy, obviously you're not anticipating too much, but the fact they might get nothing out from it is just a little bit it's just like, you don't feel too great about it, right? You're not expecting to win the round, but when you don't get anything and you get picked apart one by one, and when you have Camion running blind one-tapping you, it's not great.
Yeah, that...
What has Viperio eaten today? Sorry to cut you off, but what happened to Viperio? No. They're 11-4 up right now. Pandito's 20-7.
I must say, one of the most satisfying things in the entire world, in my opinion, is when you get flashed and you still manage to absolutely wreck the person who flashed you.
You're like, oh, I got the kill. Nice.
Get wrecked. Your flashes mean nothing here. aTTaX now playing for exits. Oh, can they get a gun? Ooh, maybe. No.
I think aTTaX might actually have secured playoffs. Because if it is head-to-head, they beat both Sampi and Viperio. So I think if Sampi don't win and Viperio win, they're Sampi eliminated. I think aTTaX might still be through regardless. I don't know if that takes the tone away from this game a little bit.
I just love that awzek is able to yoink that AK in the last, like, millisecond of the round.
Positives.
You know, but it's the small things, so, you know, you gotta appreciate the little things
Silver
in
linings.
life. Indeed. One of our very few full gun rounds again here. PERA Esports have poised themselves beautifully to regain control of the lead. And of course, winning this round will not be wonderful for aTTaX's econ, which could set them up to steamroll through. Now aTTaX not playing that same aggression that we'd seen earlier, realizing that it had been a bit of a detriment for them. They've left mid completely free and clear here. And it's a perfect opportunity to potentially push in, but that's not going to be it. They're just going to have a ton of utility thrown out, a little bit of chip damage done, playing those same mind games that we saw aTTaX doing on their T side.
Yeah, instead of going towards middle, they have at least taken control towards B and tampered a lot towards A. I think it was PerX, just great mollo nade usage. The MSN, if he hadn't sprayed there, I actually think he might have survived. That's a great opener, and they've got complete control on both extremities now. And it seems like PERA are going to be funneled to just set execute onto a side with only 2 flashes and 2 smokes. It's not too ideal, especially with 40 seconds left. But aTTaX, with their big lack of mid control, is definitely going to be a little bit of an issue because their rotations aren't going to be the cleanest.
PERA definitely on a bit of a back foot here. They showed some strong presence early on, but very quickly The tide was stemmed. Now they have to try to re-aggress, and this side could be... Oh, PANIX! Beautiful reaction there. Double kill to come through, and PERA, their last vestiges of hope in this round, stolen away from them. DGL has been a clutch in the past, but in this round, it's not going to happen. PANIX, man, just has been so good today.
Yeah, it's one of those, it wasn't the hardest shot to hit, but it's the consistent shots that you have to hit that first opener.
Yeah.
And that's just where, like, you got to hit those easier shots. But that was a super easy orchestrated round to read from PERA. Like, you know, you throw 2 smokes really delayed and then a flash, and it's like, I wonder where they're going. And I think you see, I think it might be an awzek. Yeah, awzek, who was like deep. He went to rotate away and then instantly backed towards B. Like before they even heard noise, they were like, okay, it's B. And like you can see the rotations moving instantly. And it's very interesting that PERA have been a team that have been doing very well at utilizing middle. And the one round where if they'd gone middle, they would have won the round completely off of that. They don't. And that's super unfortunate and a massive gamble stack that comes to pay dividends for alternate attacks. And they have now reset the economy of PERA. This time, there's no AWP out for DGL. All of a sudden, alternate attacks' first lead on that T side is coming out to pay because they had all these rounds to work with. They finally broke them through. They kept the economy thin, and PERA are scraping the bottom of the barrel in potentially this penultimate round.
PERA going for the force here. Could pay off. Seen them do more with less. Going for the mid crunch. Oh, freeze. Spots out. Great little spray through the smoke there. That's Camion instantly taken off the board. Mid becomes that much more difficult to try and garner some presence in. They're going to keep pushing it either way. Molly comes out from alternate attacks. That's going to stem the tide again. awzek might actually push this, but instead plays passive. Don't give over any unnecessary kills, right? You know that they do have some weaponry on them. You don't want to let them even out the numbers here and potentially turn it into an advantage for them. Nothing has been committed. They're all just stalling out in mid. And if awzek can just survive, there's a good opportunity here for a wraparound. Rotations will be relatively easy as well.
I love how they're taking control of the extremities. They're going to maybe allow the T side to walk onto, say, bomb site. They've got complete control everywhere pretty much now. And Freeze takes the first contact, no kill, and now does actually need to be careful. He's been left alone, and he's going to be dispatched with very, very easily. So all of a sudden, their control of the extremities might actually be their downfall, because you've got awzek being isolated, PerX smoked off, and a bit of a lumbered rotation. PERA, from a disastrous position, in a 3 versus 3, with 3 rifles. Yes, they've got no utility, but with the bomb ticking down and an AWP on PANIX, this could be winnable for the Hungarians.
That's going to kick it off with MSN off the board here. 3 versus 2. Time ticking away. They do have the kit, but with Goody losing his life, PerX has to do so much. Only good for 1. Now PANIX will swap over from the AWP onto the AK. He's running out of time, and that's it. That could be the end of it. Porya just playing away the time. PANIX will survive with his life. Might be able to recover the AWP if timing permits.
Oh.
Nope.
Yeah, okay.
That's rough.
Oh, that's such a rough round. Like, that was a must-win round for PERA. And for alternate attacks, yes, they have money, but you're in a 5 versus 4 position. You have pretty much all the info. Well, like, you're taking the information, but there's a little bit of hesitance. And I think that hesitance was their downfall. Really unfortunate. You have great control towards A main, but then you leave Freeze completely by himself and actually put yourself in a position where you have really slow rotations, and then you have yourself being singled off 1 by 1. Must win round for PERA, and that's monumental. Yes, their economy is still in the dumpsters. No one survived. They have nothing in the bank account. It's going to be AK's low utility or Galil's and full utility, but it's a 1-round game. After a 9-3 dominant half from the German side, it's completely slid back in favor of the Hungarians. They've got the momentum, but the issue is their economy.
Yeah, I think the force here is probably necessary, but it could heavily backfire for them. That being said, you know, in that round previous where they went in with pots and pans, and I said, you know, we've seen them do more with less, and they did get a hell of a lot done. So to come through here with this force, potential force, we're waiting to see exactly what it is, but I don't see a world in which they don't opt for some sort of a force. They really want to try and even out this scoreline, break alternate aTTaX's economy if they can. And to be fair, the economy will not be broken. Well, it'll be rough. It'll certainly be rough, but I think alternate aTTaX will still be all right. So PERA need to take full advantage of every little opening that they can find for themselves. Despite winning that last round, despite having a great performance so far on the T side, they're still not in a comfortable position. They'll be feeling confident because they have managed to achieve so much, but you cannot let that overconfidence become a stumbling block.
Oh, okay. Speaking of confidence, awzek and Goody, they are just bounding forward. This is what PERA were doing a bit early on their side, taking a lot of control towards canals. And what I like about this, that alternate aTTaX give up the control as soon as they don't take contacts. It's really dangerous to be stuck in that no man's land. And that was something that I was maybe pointing towards porya that he wasn't doing. He wasn't relinquishing that space when you have to. So it's a set play at the beginning that doesn't give them anything, but they're able to still retreat, and they didn't invest too much into that. So, as the dust settles, PERA, they're going to be maneuvering a little bit towards middle, but if they do go any more forward, they'll be walking into the two-man stack. And one of them's the AWP.
And, well, the AWP absolutely pays off.
Wait, PANIX just peeked on?
Yeah.
Damn.
Bit cheeky, but pays off. They still have mid-control. But I mean, let's face it, mid-control hasn't actually been that much of a boon for them. They haven't been able to adequately capitalize on it thus far. No!
What?
The spray does... How does PerX get to there? They knew he was there. The smoke was clearing. The spray doesn't connect. And PerX gets the double. Now only 2 players left alive here for PERA. They've allowed this round to slip away through their fingers. And alternate aTTaX, they will take full advantage.
What just happened to PERA? They just fell so unbelievably flat, and now they've got no money. We were talking about their economical woes, and it's accentuated perfectly in this round. They have nothing. They have pennies. They're scraping the bottom of the barrel for what? Tech 9s? P250s? Are they even going to have a deagle? Probably not. Literally, P250s and Tech 9s is all they have. Yes, they've qualified for the playoffs, but it's more about making a stance. They've been squashed in the first half, and now it's going to be a fast play towards the A-bomb site. All the information is there for alternate aTTaX. Porya's been sectioned off. You've only actually got 2 players making this original entry, but hold on a second. These 2 players have opened up the bomb site. How has this happened? There's a perfect smoke towards camera that's completely cut off PANIX. Freeze can't get any work done. He needs to be careful with these tech nodes coming up in front of him, and DGL just bonked him. Overtime could still be on the cards because these P250s are singing. Hold on.
What?
What is happening? This is the 3rd time in recent history that PERA have been put on the back burner. They've been told to lie down. They've had the bad economy, but they've still made it work.
You know when you watch like an anime and somebody's face just turns into like question marks? That's essentially what has just happened to me. What was that? It was so messy. It was undisciplined. It felt like alternate aTTaX. I mean, we speak about having confidence become a stumbling block, and that might just be what happened there. You know, it's a anti-eco, match point, last chance for a PERA to do something, and alternate aTTaX come through and say, you know what, it's fine. You know, it's fine. We'll win this. Easy peasy. Small mistakes, and you could see it, right? The dry swings, the pushing out one at a time, and with those Tech 9s being so up close and personal, you can't just do that. You can't just put yourself in such a disadvantageous position. You have to still play smart. Alternate aTTaX just shoot themselves in the foot there. Now PERA have money. Now, the last round is not a, pretty clear-cut anti-eco, but rather, this is going to be a difficult win for them.
Can't put baby in a corner. PERA, they were down and out. That was it. I was like, oh, time to wrap up. Camera turn on. Prep the pre-show. Prep the post-show. But no, we go again. And I feel like in classic fashion, this will be the round that they lose. After winning such a hard round, hopefully they don't stumble here. be devastating for both sides. Whoever wins this round, it's all to play for right now. But DGL getting very aggressive with the orb could catch a Goody jiggle peeking, but luckily enough for the youngster, he does evade for now. What it does do, though, is expend a lot of utility. That's pretty much his whole belt, and they've already given up that space. Now Goody can... they've actually thrown everything over towards Cave, and somehow they get a double entry. One towards middle, one towards the B-bomb side. Aaron being dealt with by PerX is huge, but this onslaught and attack towards the B-bomb side is still going on. awzek has to hold strong, but unfortunately, the Greek this time is not to be. PerX trying to charge through, unsuccessful. We're going to overtime. 9-3 half. You said, is it a curse in CS2? It most certainly is. Three half buys. One of them, every single half buy had a pistol, and one of them had 5 pistols. But guess what? It ain't no matter. They're better with the pistols than they are on the rifles, and PERA, they're looking to go 4-1.
Oh, and I'm just so impressed with the resurgence, right? Like, again, you can copium your way through this by saying, you know, T-sided map, but I really feel like PERA have put on such a good show and have done really well at chipping away at the chinks in alternate aTTaX's armor. And to bring it down to this, I love that PerX has bought into the org. I want to see more of that, particularly on this map, but we have to see if it actually gets those results, right? In OT now, this could really go either way, and porya's getting that first kill, that opener, all important to try to crack open. And again, playing it that low and slow. Now pushing in towards Cave, gonna get yet another one. An alternate aTTaX just falling apart at the seams.
You can really tell how the momentum and just confidence has completely shifted and not in the favor of the German side. They have royally fumbled the bag here. A very slow start to the half. It felt like they were going to be able to try and mitigate some of that danger, but no. PERA, they come out the gate swinging very early on in overtime as well, setting the precedence, setting the law of the land, and yeah, grand, Aaron dies. Who cares? You have so much money. Round's over. That's all it really matters. And there is actually a worry for the City side if like you genuinely do want to save, because if you buy this round, you do actually use a lot of your bank balance, and like nice kills. It doesn't really matter, but there's a world where they buy up this round and there's not loads and loads and loads to have for the third. But that's a great start to overtime for PERA. The issue right now, it just seems to be a CT side. And I'm wondering for this overtime, if this momentum is going to be able to cover that negligence on the CT side for PERA.
And this is the thing, I also feel like alternate aTTaX really do need to step up for themselves, right? Because they've got a couple more rounds left here to be CT in this OT. And if they can string these next couple rounds together and then do what they did again on the T side, I mean, that could be an easy win for them. But if PERA string these next couple of rounds together, it might make things that much more difficult. We'll see how that plays out as, again, early util, a little bit of early information. No commitment just yet. Bit of space taken in towards water. They're going to be crunching in. Bomb has not committed anywhere. Alternate aTTaX, no information for them. Just a little bit of util that's come out. But aside from that, they have no idea where PERA are just yet.
They're going to get a rude awakening towards B-bomb site. MSN's going to try and see if he can get cheeky on A, see if he can try hold someone there for the time being, and that will be the AWP station towards that A-bomb site. And now here comes the flashes. Goody in a close range position. We've seen what he can do here before, but he's going to be backstabbed, and the coverage is not apt from PerX. I don't know how PerX has allowed that to be the case. And because there's so much time left, PERA, they're going to reset. But look at that from PANIX. He gets uber aggressive towards the A-bomb side, anticipates the abandoning from MSN from that side of the map, gets aggressive, catches them off as they're rotating away, calls for the rest of his teams, but the double swing and the sprays hold true. Now, where do they go? Time is running out. awzek has given a lot of space towards the B-bomb side, and he's going to be inching his way closer. Can he be the hero? Can he deny it all here? 13 seconds. He spots them coming forward. MSN charging forward. Low HP. The first falls, but he exposes himself too wide. And because of that, DGL and porya will be able to plant in the bomb, tap in those digits, and PANIX now, once again, called up for this clutch in a 1 versus 2.
Has to make the AWP sing here. And PERA, they're smart. They're not going to peek him if they don't absolutely have to. There's a suspicion that he is going to be coming from the CT spawn side. And PANIX, he holds the line. Porya first to go down. DJL's going to play this safe. Tap on the bomb, PANIX! You absolute monster! This is not the first time. It is not the second time. This man is exceptional under pressure.
3 big clutches every single time, saving his team. Will this one be nothing? Or will third times be the charm? A 1 versus 2 with an AWP in that position is not easy by any means. And that round seemed done and out for alternate aTTaX. PERA had all the information, and maybe awzek just getting 1 was enough. The AWP sending terror rippling through the Hungarian lines. And that 1 CT round could honestly be enough. The issue is, that contingency is not going to stay the same. The A bomb site's completely being left open. There's aggression from middle, and Camion could just line them up as they run through his smoke. Oh, somehow PerX actually trades. That could still keep them in this one, but the issue is it's going to be a hard retake, 4 versus 4.
The A side can be so difficult to retake on. But the good news is PERA have expanded almost every last shred of utility that they had. 1 smoke remains, and alternate aTTaX have an absolute arsenal of utility to play with here to help them entry in and make this retake a possibility. Slowly inching their way forward, checking all of those corners. That utility now does start to come through, and despite that, porya will get 1. It is onto a low HP PerX, and Goody will follow it up. More than doable, but the time is ticking away. They have to make it happen. The Molotov comes through, pushes him off of position. PANIX holding the line, but Goody goes down. DGL cosplaying PANIX, but cannot make it happen. No time to get the defuse. So close for alternate aTTaX. DGL does just enough.
There's red on the trigger for the AWP today. What a shot! I don't know how he hits either of them. His feet are sizzling. He's in a barbecue right now. But he still is able to get 2 unbelievable fast flicks. And time is on his favor. Yes, he doesn't get all the kills. But my god, what a clutch. He gets left in a very unfortunate situation. A very peculiar predicament. With great utility usage by the German side. It completely singles out like everyone's positions, and it was actually lovely. Like Molotov towards A main, Molotov towards pillar, flushes everyone out, but even then, standing in the fire, standing in the depths of Tartarus, the AWP shows PANIX what is good. Back-to-back clutches. The AWPs, they're on fire.
Oh. Just blown away by those last couple of rounds. Unreal. But here we go. Sides have swapped. PERA back onto CT. And they struggled on this half. They really struggled to make something happen. So alternate aTTaX in with a very huge advantage. Not just because they had a good T side, but because PANIX will open things up with a clean shot onto Aaron. Giving themselves massive numbers advantage already. And still not pushing. Waiting. Seeing if PERA make those mistakes that they've been known to make on their CT side as they slowly start to creep their way up towards DGL's AWP. This could be dangerous. Never mind. Yeah, DGL didn't stand a chance.
They were put in a very unfortunate position where you've got 2 players in middle. You want to make that risky play. You're trying to eradicate the offset in that man disadvantage, but unfortunately that is your downfall. And, like, it's the right play. Like, you group up and you try you try to give yourself back that advantage, but you walk into the masses. If they'd waited a millisecond, if they waited 2 seconds, whatever it was, and just held their nerve, then they would have actually had the opposition walk into their crosshairs. But a great opener from PANIX, set sail for alternate aTTaX, even up the scorelines once again. And this is what I was saying. Is this game just going to be who can get that 1 round on the CT side? Alternate aTTaX obtained that from a magnificent clutch where the AWP shone. And is that enough? Is alternate aTTaX going to get these last 2 rounds? And are they going to really clinch us away from PERA?
It really does feel like it's been a tale of 2 AWPers. It's having these incredible moments of heroics and phenomenal plays. But we're down to the wire once again. As both teams edge their way closer. Whoever wins this finds themselves on match point. Feels like we're having a little bit of a throwback here to MR15. Just it's a bit of it's a love letter, you know.
Love letters of Counter-Strike. Go.
Yes.
But no, this is a lovely round. I love how they've just walked through middle. They've sidled through without a care in the world. That Molotov is going to be a little bit of a worry because I think the AWP can peek behind it as it is quite shallow. Used to smoke it off, force smoke it off now. And we've seen how MSN has struggled over on this A bomb site already today on a multitude of occasions, but it'll be Aaron, the IGL. He does not quiver. And I was saying one CT round is all the team needs. Well, PERA, they can just swamp easy as can be. And it's all down because of Aaron. Such a good affair. Yes, he's dropped the ball a little bit towards the end of that second half, but that is a big round to come alive. He shuts down the push from 2 different ways, and alternate aTTaX, well, they're staring down the barrel of series points.
But also potentially double OT.
Double OT. I don't think we've had a single OT, and now we're like,
We have not.
Screw it. Double OT.
This is to make up for the lack of OTs in our previous games, you know?
And also just the whole of today. But both of those, all the games today have been fairly quick. Literally every game has been fairly dominant. And this one's like,
Yeah.
no. All the way, all the rounds.
That's our last one, you know? They put on a show for us, so
Hurrah.
we appreciate that.
It's great. It honestly is great Counter-Strike. And that last round seemed like it was it. But really good rotations with just so much conviction. They just left the B-bomb site completely open and they went straight towards middle and A, and Aaron held down and kind of picked up the pieces where MSN has been struggling a little bit. And now, alternate aTTaX, faking out a little bit towards the A-bomb site. They've got numbers towards B, but it's not a committal.
Ooh.
And especially now they've identified this AWPer at the cost of freeze. I'm not too sure if they're going to want to pump towards this bomb site.
I'm not convinced by that. Unfortunately, the dry swing there is instantly punished. Now, numbers disadvantage. They don't know that this isn't the heavily stacked site, and PERA haven't committed to the rotate yet. The timing here could be perfect, but TGL, so cheeky, gets the second. The push in onto the site is good for the 2, though, and that is the site free and clear. If they don't figure that out quickly, they can get this bomb down. This is still very winnable. Aaron now, a little bit of a flank. Not a flank, sorry. Holding a different angle in from CT. Alternate aTTaX have got some really good coverage here. The post plant is immaculate. The first one will come through from PerX. Thinking about swinging for a second time, but thinking better of it. The smoke or the flash rather, comes through. Does not get the value that it would have wanted. Last player left alive. Cannot make it happen. And we're going to double OT.
I have no idea how in a 3 versus 5 that's gone in their favor. awzek steps up when necessary, imitating his ancestors, the Greek god. Fantastic. A double entry. That first shot onto the AWPer was just a nice trade, you know, good trade. And then that shot onto Freeze, my god. That was also a lovely, well-placed Molotov. If Freeze hadn't been displaced, that could have been a different story, but awzek saves them. And alternate aTTaX, they force them into double overtime. You foreshadowed it, Sam, and it's come into reality. DGL, he had a great last round. You can see he's still confident, and that confidence will continue in that same manner. In conjunction with Aaron, they take down PerX, but confidence everywhere apparently, because PANIX, he tries to go for a pick on the A-bomb site. Unfortunately, he's not as successful, and apparently DGL is not done. There's fights everywhere, skirmishes everywhere on this map, and as the dust settles, PERA, they just neutralize everyone.
Well, you said it right. 1 round on CT is all you need. They kick off this double OT instantly with a CT round for themselves. They want to end this. They want to take it home. And in such a dominant fashion. And they love holding that water long sightline. And this time it pays off absolute dividends for them. Goody being the last player left alive. There's very little that he can get done here. Position well telegraphed now. Or well documented. What do you even do in this situation? Less than a minute to go. Chucked out the last little vestiges of his utility. And economic damage doesn't even really mean much of anything at this point. And it's really just stalling out until the end of the round so that you can go next.
Okay, that's the CT. That's the coveted 1 CT round. and done so quite defyingly. DGL, God, he's really taking matters in his own hand. 28-16. We were saying the impact he had, maybe not even statistically, but this time he's gone, yeah, so I'm actually going to have the statistical impact now. He's getting clutches, he's getting opening frags, he's just securing all the kills, and he's going for aggression on a different part of the map. Will they anticipate this? Yes, a lovely flash to push him away from the angle, but he is not phased. He's still going to stand strong. These flashes and smokes are coming in, but he's still going to try and stay, and this smoke is lovely. Are they going to really try push through us? Yes, they are, but DGL ready and rating there with MSN. This time, MSN actually gets a kill towards the A bomb site. A rare occurrence, apparently, today, and that's a lovely double entry.
I said it was the tale of AWPers, but DGL has very quickly turned it into the tale of DGL. His aggression that has gone so unpunished. There were some rounds where they did, but for the most part, he's had undue respect given to him. Maybe not undue, but just a little too much, you know? And he's just been allowed to get away with absolute murder. Alternate attacks are able to trade one back. And with the site here being so free and clear, there is a world as Goody will get the kill onto porya. Bomb will get planted. Oh, beautiful. So much disorientation there off the back of the flash. PANIX with the peek. Wants to show that he's still got it. Still got some skin in this. And MSN is the last player left alive.
Oh,
alternate attack. Oh!
Oh, sorry, that could have got so dangerous. I thought there was a world where MSN gets the kill onto the second player, and it's a 1 versus 1 because of PANIX. Whew, that was, but still, how have they lost that round? What is happening today with 3 versus 5s? Why is that like the 5th, 6th in this game? 3 versus 5, we've seen that has gone away from the team that had the advantage. What is happening when these teams have these massive advantages? And PERA, 2 city rounds could have been all they needed. That would have done and dusted. But alternate attacks, like, they are just not giving up. No one's giving up right now. No one's succumbing to each other.
No one willing to give so much as an inch here. And we said it, alternate attacks, everything to play for, unfortunately. Yet another opening frag from DGL. He has been such a menace, and he continues to do so. 5 versus 4 here. Oh, there you go. It's going to be a nice little trade-off. Porya tries to hold on, but PerX is good for 2 of his own. 3 players left for PERA. Definitely doable. Fall back, regroup, push together. 1 player in on a flank freeze, taking an aggressive push here, and it pays off. Good for the first. Can't quite connect onto the second, but he's bought time. He's done a fantastic job. Are they on the lookout for MSN? It is being held just in case MSN spots the head, gets a little bit of damage done, but he's chipped down as well. Freeze is still holding on for dear life as the HE doesn't quite connect, and instead it's going to be MSN followed up by DGL. And it's a 17th round. I thought that HE was going to finish him off.
He wasn't. I think he was on like 80 HP when the HE came in. I think that like Freeze was dead anyways, right? But no, that was a really unfortunate 2 versus 2 because I feel like DGL and Freeze were both in good positions individually, but no one was playing together. Like they were taking very isolated 1 versus 1s, and it was very much dependent on who would get the kill, etc. And especially with MSN coming in from that flank, like as soon as he gets the information and DGL is not in a position to help whatsoever, it just isolates these individuals at the very end. And alternate attacks losing twice on that CT on that T half, that could be it. That could be them done and dusted. Now let's see if they can fight off their demons and succeed on the side that's definitely been struggled today. And they're going to start off with aggression of their own.
Oh no! Oh, PerX labored
no.
spray. Just not connecting. The trade isn't coming through. MSN chasing this down through the Molotov. It was a choice.
Removes so much map control and gives away that man advantage. I feel like that's when maybe the nerves get to you. You're trying to hunt down the AWPer, thinking you've done a little bit more damage than you actually have. And in reality now, at a minute, PERA are forced to completely reset with only 2 smokes, a Molotov, and a flash.
Both teams very limited on utility, actually. Oh! Good swing, but it's instantly traded. 1 for 1, back and forth, very much like how these rounds have gone. No one getting a clear advantage over the other. Bomb moving over towards the B site is not the worst decision, but unfortunately it is the site with 2 players. However, if they can get a nice kill on the entry, not only does that give them the advantage, it gives them the site, and the rotation could take a while to come through from PANIX. So this is the perfect opportunity.
That smoke completely cancels them out. There's nothing they can do to disrupt this bomb going down. Oh, nope, I stand corrected.
JK.
The nade comes in, but it's all so discombobulated. Goody just runs through. Never mind, I stand corrected. That one singular grenade and heroics from Goody allows alternate aTTaX to win another round where they started off with a man disadvantage.
Absolutely, ate your words there, yes. Alternate aTTaX, they held on to a little bit of that utility and to great effect, and this is why it's so important. So often you'll see, particularly a CT-sided team, that just like tosses out damn near all of their util early on in the round, and then they have nothing for a potential retake. It's great to see that they did hold on to that. The HE, the molly, everything that they needed to deny the plant and to ultimately win themselves that round. 1 for 1, once again, evened out scoreline, and it's still very much anyone's game.
Yeah, no, it's something very interesting. Alexi B was talking about in an interview, was saying how people will be holding onto their grenades a lot later to try, you know, make plants uncomfortable, blow smokes from people and ninja diffusing, or exactly like that. Smoke comes in that realistically should have cut away the round and should have allowed for the bomb to go down, but in reality, it actually allowed Goody to propel himself forward, and it caught PERA completely off guard, and now the AWPs sing out. Both sides secure a opening kill, 4 versus 4, but it's the rival for Aaron that gives his team the advantage. But these AWPs are just unrelenting. There's so much, there's smokes everywhere, there's Molotovs everywhere, but PANIX is still able to acquire a sight line. And now PERA, what do? They seem to have committed over towards this B bomb site, and the bomb seems to be following in pursuit. PerX in a great position to rotate where necessary, but Freeze will do it all by himself. Drives by Aaron, and with 45 seconds and another re-smoke towards B main, PERA, if they catch PerX off here, they go back towards A, and that might be exactly what they do.
That wide swing from Freeze was immaculate. But now they stall out. Now they don't quite know what to expect. A little bit of a lean over towards A from alternate aTTaX. Expecting a potential rotate over, but instead, PERA just going to commit to B. Tap the bomb. Wait to see if somebody peeks out. Oh, the shot does not connect, but now his position's known. And as he peeks again, porya is waiting in the wings. It's all down to Freeze. Does a little bit of damage onto MSN. MSN trying to bait him out into the open. Eventually he will take the bait, but he's being careful about it. Knows MSN's position. He suspects where porya is going to be. And yes, there he is, but he cannot connect the shots in a meaningful way. Porya with 1 HP will confirm the round for PERA.
Once again, a series point for PERA. Bit of overextension from PANIX in that last round. On my first thought, I was like, that's a massive misplay. Why is he overpeaked? On my second thought of thinking, is to try bait in for Freeze on that on that lurk. He's trying to make noise. He's trying to draw attention away from Cave, but the issue is he peeks too aggressively and with a little bit too much confidence, reveals himself too much, and porya rocks off his head. On top of that, PerX on that lurk could have just held behind and could have just held for their, if they do fall back, but instead he goes too far forward, and now look at this. A nuke lands on both DGL and MSN's head, and on top of that, PANIX is able to acquire the opening frag, but there's so much pace, there's so many numbers. PERA, they're looking to overwhelm this A bomb site for the final round. They've got the man advantage, but the rotations are surging in. Look at Camion there, normally in the entry position, is actually lurking towards middle. He could be the difference maker. It's a lumbered fight in middle, and on top of that, porya goes doubling down towards the A bomb site, and in a blink of an eye, PERA take 19, and alternate aTTaX fall after having an original 9-3 advantage after that first half.
Absolutely ridiculous tenacity.